We have new concerns over the Zika virus. It's now affecting more than 30 countries, and we're learning a possible vaccine is more than a year away.
Dr. Nandi is here with the new details about the virus and the new travel guidelines for pregnant women.
Really concerning. I'll start off on the top by saying that 2 U.S. women now have miscarried with the Zika virus. So really important, not just somewhere else, but here in the U.S. So possible Zika vaccines are at least 18 months away from large-scale trials. So different types of possible vaccines, such as live or killed virus, or the use of DNA vaccines, may lead to differences in timing on development. But developers are all starting at a very basic level for the time being. So what should we do? The World Health Organization travel guidelines for pregnant women. Please consult with your doctors, healthcare providers, and consider delaying travel. It's important. Consider delaying travel to any area where locally acquired Zika infection is occurring. Also, CDC guidelines to prevent sexual transmission. One of my prescriptions: abstain from sexual activity. Now, what we're talking about is if your partner is somebody who's been to an area with Zika, or you've been in an area with Zika virus, abstain from sexual activity. Use a condom, but consistently and correctly, not just some of the time. So it's important if we follow these guidelines.
So many people are so worried. So where can the Zika virus end up once you have an infection?
You know, after infection, it can go to different places, but it may also importantly persist in semen when it's no longer detectable in the blood. We think it lasts about a week, you know, as far as clinical infection, but if it lasts longer in the semen, you can see how a person that's infected can then pass it on to a pregnant woman or somebody who's wanting to conceive, and then that's where the problem is.
I see. So even if you pregnant women, they're worried, obviously concerned, but even if you are pregnant and you have intercourse with somebody who has Zika, it could be dangerous.
Absolutely. You know, if pregnant women, you know, are concerned, don't, first of all, travel to Zika infection areas of the world and then, you know, they talk to a doctor. But if you know of somebody, for example, there was a case where somebody traveled to an area, I think it was Venezuela, and they came back. And if you know that's the case, that your partner could have been infected, just abstain from sex, talk to your doctor, get the information. Don't take a chance, you know, because like I talked about in the beginning, that 2 U.S. women with miscarriages, so it's really coming home. People say, well, it's somewhere else, but now it's really here.
One other quick question. Our crews were going out to speak to a woman yesterday who had Zika. They were so worried, like, Carolyn, what do we do? What do we do? What do you say when people are just going around somebody who has the Zika virus?
That you don't have to worry about. You know, it's not spread that way. Remember, it's spread by mosquitoes, right? So one mosquito takes it from one person to another. Unless you're, you know, sexually active with that person, you should not be worried about just getting it from someone. So it's important to let people know, not to panic, but be informed.
That's a huge point.
And also, you know, we'll talk about it, and coming up Monday, we'll continue our conversation. We're going to break down facts versus fiction when it comes to Zika. We'll take your questions. We'll have everything you need to know to stay protected. You know, and what happens is that we'll actually try to get it on Facebook Live so you can join us. So.
That's such a good thing to do. We thank you so much for that. And,
it'll start on 5 and continue on until 7 o'clock.
all day long. We'll answer your questions.
Yeah, we need that. You're there. Thank you, Doc.
It's my pleasure.
If you have a question or health concern for the good doctor, you can email him at drnandy@wxyz.com or send it to us, Facebook, Twitter, email, anything. We'll get it to him.